Hello, this is Tanya with TK Sewing Machine and Repair, and today I have a Singer 328. Um, great machines, really versatile too. This machine is kind of like, I don't know, maybe an olive gray. I don't really know what color you would call this thing, but it's a fine machine and it sews really well. Um, So you have some features on this machine that you might not see on others. This machine has a left, center, right needle position, so that's awesome. So it gives you some versatility where on which side you want to sew, maybe if you're doing a zipper or something like that. You also have zigzag, and so you have stitch width. 0 is a straight stitch, 4 is your widest zigzag. You can also use the Singer flat cams in this machine, so you can do all different kinds of stitches. So this is the zigzag cam, but there's probably, I think, there's a total of 26 cams. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere in that neighborhood. And so you can do decorative stitches with this machine. And as you just saw how I removed the cam, you just unscrew this, take the cam out, and put the other one back in. You also have your stitch length right here. All the way up is reverse, and then you have 1 through 4 for your stitch length. And if you wanted to lock in a certain stitch length, let's say you were doing something and you didn't want to go below a 3, then you would just tighten the screw, this knob right here, and you won't allow you to go longer than 3, but you can still go all the way up for reverse. I really like these machines. Until recently I had a 327, but I upgraded, so I no longer have that machine anymore, but I had it for several years and I really enjoyed it. To wind a bobbin is very simple. It takes a class 66 bobbin. They're still available everywhere. I would say use a metal bobbin. Don't use a plastic one. And you load your bobbin onto the spindle. You push the bobbin winder assembly down. And then on the knob here, you turn this clutch knob. I got it cranked down pretty tight. There we go. Turn it until it stops, and then you can wind your bobbin. You would you would put a spool of thread right here, put it through this thread guide and up to the bobbin and wind it. So really simple. So to thread the machine, I put the thread in going around the bottom, and then there is a little guide, and you bring the thread up through the slot, close the door. There's a little gap right here so the thread can come through. We're going to tighten up the clutch and lift the bobbin winder, and we're going to pick up the bobbin thread. It's that simple. So let's do some test stitches. I'm going to put the pedal on the floor so I can use both hands. Slip off my shoe. I like to sew barefoot. And let's go. It makes a really nice stitch. And if you wanted to do a shorter stitch, you just bring the stitch length up. And you do a shorter stitch. That's a really fine stitch. Let's bring it back down to the longest stitch, and let's do a zigzag. Whenever I change a machine over to zigzag, I always bring the needle up, and let's do the widest zigzag. Looks like I need to adjust the tension down just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. And so if you wanted to make a shorter zigzag, you shorten your stitch length. And you'd make a shorter zigzag just like that. So let's change it back to a straight stitch. We can put the needle position to the left. Let's go to the longest stitch. And then reverse. And ta-da! So this machine would be really good for garment making. It would be really good for heavy-duty domestic sewing. I use a machine very similar to this, the 327, and the only difference between this machine and the 327 is that the 327 is only zigzag. You can't replace the cam. So I would make kilts with duck fabric with that machine, and it would go through 6, 7, 8 layers of duck fabric, because when you're doing the pleats on kilts, you have some places you have a lot of layers, and that machine would just chew through it just like butter. And so these machines are just fantastic, and if it ends up in your home, I hope you enjoy it.